Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are joining. Welcome to Excel Virtually Summit. My name is Indira Bandari and I am working as a senior data consultant in Datacom in Auckland, New Zealand, and I am a Microsoft Data Platform MVP. Today my session is going to be about how to build a stock portfolio tracker using Microsoft Excel. Before I proceed, I just want to share myself a little bit about my journey. I started off in New Zealand about almost 20 years ago. Worked as a CRM developer, senior systems analyst, BI developer, and also as an information analyst in various organizations from 2002 to 2015. And from 2015 I started giving back to the community, speaking at local meetups and conferences, and also teaching kids all about technology. Started off with game development classes for kids, and now I do SQL and Power BI classes. I have a passion for teaching, and with this passion I started a charitable trust called Kids Tech Charitable Trust in 2020, and continuing my passion to teach kids under that banner. So that's a little bit about my journey in New Zealand. And moving on, what are we going to learn in this session today? So we will see what stocks data type is, and also how to use stock history function to build a stock portfolio dashboard for using Excel. And a couple of things to consider here. The functions that I'm going to use in this assignment are not available for Excel versions 2007 to 2019. It is only available in the Office 365 version, or the latest it's called M365 or Microsoft 365 version of Excel only. So without further ado, let's get into the demo part. Here I have my transactions file, where I have been storing my transactions of all the stocks that I have been buying. So here I have some fictitious dates and also some companies for which I have been buying and selling the stock. And this column is indicating the type of transaction, which is called the buying or selling. And let me say, let us say I have sold some of the shares here. So, and this one is number of units. So let's say about 100 units for the Thermo Fisher Scientific Inc. And what is at what price I have bought or sell. So let's say I have sold it for $60, and 6,000 is the 60. So 6,000 is the amount that I have spent here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I want to convert this table into a table. So first what I want to do is I want to rename this sheet to transactions, because these are the transactions. And I want to convert this particular little table to a table in Excel. So in order to do that, the shortcut for that is Control T. Once you do Control T, it's going to ask you for the range. So my range is from A1 to F13. That's what it is showing. So I'm just going to say OK, and once I say OK, the format of this table has changed, and here you can see the name of the table, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the name of the table to to transactions. Okay, so name of the table to transactions, so that I can refer to these this table to with the table name transactions, and also the column names can be the date, company type, units, price, etc. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I want to convert these companies into stocks. So for that there is a data type called stocks. So I'm just going to highlight this column, the data in this column, and then I'm going to go into data ribbon here, and there is something called stocks. You can see the stocks data type. So when I choose that, you can see that this everything has changed into stocks here. So if I go and if I click on this particular icon, you can see the information about Microsoft. The first company is Microsoft Corporation, and then you can see the price, you can see what exchange it is, and you can see what the change is, change percentage, what currency it is, and what's the previous close, open, high, low, all this information. And if you come down a little bit, it gives you the description of the company as well. So you can, and also how many employees are working, and what is the headquarters are in Redmond, and industry is software and IT services. So these are the information that we can learn from this one. So if we want to know a little bit more about this function, this company, we can add some other columns as well here. I'm just going to add one column which is called the ticker, which will give you the exchange, which exchange this company is from. So if I click on that, once I click on the company, see, you can add all these values, what is the 52-week high, what is the 52-week low, and change. We have whatever we have seen in that information, we can add it. For now I am going to add the ticker here. So I'm going to choose the ticker symbol. So this is what I'm going to add. I'm just going to choose the ticker symbol and then click on enter. So ticker is nothing but what is the short form of the company that is being called in the exchange. Microsoft is called MSFT, and Alphabet Inc. is nothing but Google, so it is GOOG. Like that, Apple is AAPL, Amazon is AMZN. So this is the ticker that we have got, and then that table got automatically extended, and instead of column 1, I'm going to name that as ticker. So now this is the transactions. Now let's try and build a dashboard for this. So for this I'm going to insert a new sheet and shade the first few rows, first couple of rows as a, let's say, fill that with a light blue color, and I'm going to type saying that this is going to be a stock portfolio tracker, and format it a bit. I would like the format to be white color, and since the white is a bit bold. I just want to change the color to a little bit darker. The fill color to little bit darker. Yeah, I think now it is looking good. Okay, and I want to increase the length, increase the size of the portfolio tracker to a wee bit. Yeah, now it is looking good. Now that's the and what I want is I want to add a header to the, again I'll just choose the same color, and also for the font it will be white, so I can say company here, and I want to, let's say I want to get the industry and also number of units that I have been buying and selling, and what is the price. For price, let's do it current price, and market value, and I want to know even today's change. Then I also want to know what's the gain and loss, if any, and followed by what is the last 12 months, how did the stock perform. And this one I will change this to stock instead of company, and I'm going to resize the columns a bit so that we can fit in a bit more information. And that's units, that's current price, that's market value, today's change, and gain or loss, and this will be last 12 months. I want something like a spark line or something, and I will give a little bit of border here for the next one. Now for the next part of the dashboard, I'm just going to again give a border here, same color, so that it is just differentiating. And now I'm going to get the stock here from the transactions table. So for that, what I want to do is, if you observe this transactions table, there are some duplicates, or depending on the number of times I have bought or sold, the number of transactions for a particular company is more. So for Tesla, it's twice I bought and 2 times I bought. And if we look at Amazon, that also has 2 duplicates. So what I need here is I want to sort the stock, the company. So I will use the sort function, equals sort, and also I want to use unique function. So I'm going to use unique, and also use the filter function to filter out only those stocks that I hold currently. I don't want the stocks that I have already sold. So I will use the filter function, and I'm going to use the transactions table and filter include. So what I want is transactions, company. Now filter, I'll use the transactions table, and from within transactions I will use the company column, and it should be square brackets. So within square brackets company, and followed by comma, and I'm going to get only sum if the units is not equal 0. So for that again I use the transactions column followed by again company comma transactions table within square brackets units, close the brackets, not equals 0, and then close the brackets for filter, unique and sort. So once I write the formula correctly and press enter, let me press. Now as you have seen, it has created a dynamic array of all the stock. Now I can get the industry. So for that I can just reference this dynamic array column. So once I choose that, if I select the entire all the stocks, you might notice that there is automatically a hash that appears. This is using the dynamic array. And now when I use dot, I can see all the functions that are available within that, and what I need is the industry. So once I click the industry here, choose the industry and then press enter, so here all the industry of the stocks appears here. This again creates a spilled array. Now I want the units. For that I want the sum of the units. So if there are 2 rows, I need the sum of them. So I'm just going to use the SUMIF function, SUMIF, and I'm using the transactions table followed by within square brackets I'm using the company comma. Now again I'll use this dynamic array comma that matches the, I need to get the matches the units that match these stock items. So again transactions units, so there's my units column, and then I'll close the brackets for SUMIF, and that should give you the units, sum of units for each of those stocks. Now let's get the current price. Now current price, again I can use this build array, this dynamic array. So I'm just going to, I can just reference that followed by hash symbol, I can use that, followed by price. So that's the current price, and for market value is nothing but this fill array times that fill array, so equals units hash times whichever is quicker. You can either select or you can use that. So that's the market value. Now the next one is the today's change. Today's change is nothing but current price minus the arrays dot previous close. So I'm just going to choose the previous close and put this within brackets. So I just put that within brackets. This times the number of units. That will give you the today's change. Let's see how to get the gain or loss. So for that we use SUMIF. Transactions table, within brackets we use the company, match that with the array that we are using, comma, transactions, and within square brackets again transactions within square brackets amount within square brackets plus the current market value. So what we paid plus what's the current market value. So that's the gain or loss. And now what we need to do is what I want to get is the last 12 months, how the portfolio is tracking. So for that what I want to use is a function called transpose. I'm just going to in order to get the last 365 days, that is in the last 12 months, what I am going to use is a transpose function, and then within the transpose function I'm going to use the stock history function. So let's try and use that. So you can do this either in a separate sheet or in the same sheet. I'm just doing it in the same sheet. So I'm just going to say transpose and open the bracket, stock history function, which is this, and within the stock history function I'm going to use only the first one for now, so which is A5. So I'm just going to type A5 there, which is the stock. Now comma, now after stock the start date is, I want to go today minus 365, so minus 365 days because I want the last 12 months. Then after that today again, because from today to last 365 days, that's the end date. And before the interval what I want is daily interval, so 0 comma, I don't want any header, so the number for that is 0 comma, and I want the date again 0 I want the close, so 1 and comma, so 0001, and then now I will close the stock history function followed by the transpose function, and then press enter. Now here if you see, this particular function has returned the dates as well as the stock history for the first stock, which is the Alphabet Inc. In the initial, because we have changed the format to white, so that's why we are not able to see that. So I'm just going to change the format to this one. So now we have the stock for 1. Now the next one is, we can't copy this and paste because there is date as well. So I'm going to write the function again for 1, and then we can drag for the next ones. So transpose stock history function, stock history followed by stock. Now this time the stock value will be for Amazon Inc., comma. Now start date is again today minus 365, comma, up to today, that's the close date. Now what we want is, we want daily, and then we don't want any header, comma, followed by we want to close. So just 1, we don't need the date now because we already have the date as the header there. And now closing the stock history function as well as the transpose function. Now if I see correctly, now we got the stock for the next one. So now this I can drag this for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it takes a while, but it comes. Yeah, so all the stocks are now ready. So if we look at, we have all the information for getting our last 12 months spark lines. So now let's draw the spark lines. Now in order to insert the spark lines, just go into insert tab, make sure you have selected all the cells, and then in the spark line tab, insert in this tab, insert the line, and when you are choosing the range, just choose the range from here till the end, and then click OK, and that will insert the spark line there where you have selected. If you want to change the spark line color, you can change the spark line color. Let's say I just want to go with that color, and also if you want to change the marker color, thickness of the marker, all that you can change. I'm just going to go with the thicker line. So that's how you have the spark lines there. Now let us do some charting for the portfolio. So what I want to do is, I want to add a portfolio breakdown by industry. So I'm just going to select this industry, followed by keep pressing the control key and then followed by the market value. And now I'm going to insert a pie chart. So I'm just going to choose the recommended chart and choose the pie chart and click OK. Now I have the pie chart. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to format this pie chart in such a way that I want the legend outside. Okay, what I just noticed is we have if we look at the industries here, the industries are not unique. So what we need to do is, so what I've done is, let's delete the pie chart. So what I'll do is I'll just say for the portfolio breakdown, I'll just say that this is the industry, and this one, let's say the color is white, and here I'll get the market value, and here what I want is just to get the unique values of this one. So I'll just use the unique function and then use this and then close the brackets. So now we have got the unique industries. Now in order to get the market value, same format, in order to get the market value for these is I'm going to use the sum function, SUMIF function. I'm going to use the SUMIF function, SUMIF this list, and that matches with comma with this list, and now I'm going to get the market value, matching market value, and then close the brackets. Now now this list will always be the same. So I'm just going to format this to remove the decimals. Now I can use this to create the pie chart. So I'm just going to go insert the pie chart here. I'm going to format the chart a bit. I'm just going to data labels, legend. I'm going to format to remove the leader lines. I just want the percentage, don't want the value, I just want the category name, and I can remove the legend. From here I can take the legend out so that the formatting is a bit light. So formatted the chart now. Now what I want to do is I want to use the data bars for this one. So I'm just going to select and then format it, conditional format it using data bars, and I can say gradient fill and choose the color as that. Similarly for this one also I will use the data bars, same color, looks good, and I'll make sure that so now it looks good. Now, so that's the industry breakdown, the portfolio breakdown by industry. And now the next part is I want to add a couple of stocks to my watch list. So I'm just going to type this as watch list, and I am now I have a couple of companies stocks on watch list. I want to watch Google, that is Alphabet Inc. and Microsoft Corporation. So for that I'm just going to say this is the company, and now company name. Okay, and now what I want to do is I want to add the exchange abbreviation. So you can add a column by clicking on this one. So I can say exchange abbreviation. So and I'll first convert this into a table so that it gets added automatically. So, and this one is exchange abbreviation. I'll just say exchange. I just want to name it as exchange. Now, yeah, similarly this one, both are XN as exchange, and I want the ticker symbol, so I can just type T and then go to ticker symbol. You can also add reference this stock and then dot 52-week high, enter, but that way the column name will not be automatically added, so we need to add 52-week high. And what I need is earnings, and I will add the price and change. What's the change that has been there? Okay, change. I think that's enough for us. So now we need to prepare data for adding charts for our watch list. So what I'm just going to do is insert a pivot table. So I'm just going to insert the pivot table, choose the range for this table for the range, and I'm not going to choose new worksheet. I'm just going to choose an existing worksheet, and I'm just going to insert here. So just insert it, and for the filters I will use the company, and for the rows I will use the exchange and ticker symbol. Now I want to reformat this pivot table. So I will say I don't show any subtitles, do not show offer rows and columns, and report layout and the design, report show in tabular form, and repeat all item labels so that we can see the names in all the rows. And we can also get rid of these buttons, field headers. One other thing that I want to show here is in the pivot table analyze, you can, in the pivot table analyze options, in the pivot table options, you can actually generate one page for each filter. So because we have two filters in the two in the company, so it will create two sheets, separate sheets. So you can notice that. So when I click that show report filter pages, it's just going to add, it has added two filters, two pages. So we can rename that to Google and this one to MSFT, so that we can watch these. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same transpose and stock history function to get the last 365 days history. Here I need to concatenate the exchange, which is this column, and ampersand concatenate colon and then ampersand and then the ticker symbol. And now I will use the today function minus 365 days, comma, again today function, and here I want daily, comma, no header, comma, I don't want any dates, so I'll just use the close function, close the stock history and close the transpose. And now it's given the last 365 days values. Now this will be used for the stock chart, and I also want to create an area chart for all the high, low, and in order to do that I'm just going to use the stock function. I'm not using the transpose here, stock history function. So stock history followed by concatenating the exchange, ampersand within inverted commas colon, ampersand, and then the ticker symbol, now comma, today, and minus for the last 30 days, comma, today, that's the end date. Now 0, and 0 and 5, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then end the bracket, and it is busy. So now I have the date, volume, open, high, low, and close. So this I have done for Google. So I'll do the same thing with the MSFT. Now I have the information necessary for both Microsoft and Google. Now what I'll do is I'll add an area chart. So control shift right arrow, and then in the insert I'm going to choose from the recommended charts, I'm going to choose the area chart, choose the area chart and click OK. For this area chart we don't need the dates. That's the reason I didn't put the dates when I use the transpose function. And this chart I can just say put the chart as last 12 months. this is actually closed last 12 months, so I can just say closed last 12 months. And the next chart that I'm going to use is to build the stock chart. So I'm just going to select the data range here, and from the insert I will insert the stock chart, which is under this one. So under the stock chart I will choose this volume open high low close chart. So I've just chose that, and from here what I'll do is I'll format the date in the format number. We don't need the year, so what I'll do is I'll just change that to D and mm. I'm going to change that to D and mm so that it comes to, and then add that so that it's much clear. And for the chart title I'm just going to add the formula so that it is dynamically represented for equals this one, so that now I'll cut this and then paste it in the dashboard page. So finally my dashboard is taking shape. So this is the stock portfolio tracker, where we are having a watch list and also portfolio breakdown by industry, and also we can see the market value and then the current trends and what the last 12 months is. So that is what I wanted to show today. Hope you have learned something from this one, and then you can I'll be providing this file so that you can download it and then you can use that for your own stocks. One last thing I want to show you is once you finish the dashboard, you can just go to view and untick the grid line so that it appears neat and your dashboard is looking quite professional. Hope you all have enjoyed, and thank you for joining Excel Virtually Summit. See you next time.